Hey everyone, here's a new drawing that I've added to your assignment. This is for your three-dimensional pop-ups, and it is here to show you both an example of additive, where we make cuts into the paper and do our pop-ups in one direction only. And then there's another one that shows the subtractive aspect, where you cut from the front and pop in instead of popping out. So when you look at both of them, it should give you a pretty good idea of some of your options. One of the things you'll notice about the pop-up is that if you're cutting from the back of the paper, you get a symmetrical, even cut the entire time, so that everything comes out in a kind of an exponential way, getting smaller and smaller and smaller, because you've given yourself a limit of that halfway mark. You can only cut halfway up each piece of paper. And eventually it gets to where the paper is just too thick to cut through anyway. But you can try to challenge yourself, to make as many cuts as you can. In the other one, I've done a lot fewer cuts to kind of underscore the fact that you can pop in. You can cut from the front of what you're doing and cut into it. And I've also cut from the back in an asymmetrical way. I have not kept it even. So that's another option that you have. In this particular assignment, embellishment is encouraged. It's something that you want to be able to do. And I would suggest even periodically taking a break and looking at what you've created and try to let it tell you what to do. Let it give you suggestions in what it could be, or what you could have created. Now, during this course, I have mentioned that, there is a scale to what you do. You could look at it on a grand scale, like it's a building, or you could look at it on maybe a human scale, which it could be a bunch of boxes stacked up, or it could even be looked at on a miniature scale. This could be something very small that you're working on. So you do want to ask yourself those questions when you are doing this type of work. I'm trying to think of some of your options. Well, in a 3D class, you're not just limited to drawing. That is, you could glue things onto your paper that are more three-dimensional, like other pieces of paper. You could cut up magazine pages and glue them down. And when you're working with a pop-up, just remember you can always flatten it back out. It is a planar material, which means it started off flat, and now you're welcome to, flatten it again in order to glue things to it, and then bend it back into shape. And it will remember what it's supposed to do. So I encourage you guys to, do your best on this, and be creative and see what you can discover through it. And that's pretty much it. Enjoy the pop-ups.